Welcome to Cosmic Kickback, everyone. My name is Josh. With me, as always, is my co-host, Nick.
Hello.
And you're watching the Galaxy's favorite talk show right now.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be talking Eternals. The review of that movie just dropped. We got a lot to say, I think, on it. This is a very surprisingly controversial movie right now. Rotten Tomatoes score of 50.
Yeah, the lowest rated Marvel movie.
Yep. Apparently, it's the worst one. I think we were going to have some opinions.
Some hot takes.
Yeah, we'll get to that. If you want to skip to that, we'll have a timestamp in the description.
Mm-hmm.
And but before that, we have a little bit of movie news to discuss. It's mostly casting stuff. Nothing too crazy is going on. Just jump right into it, Nick.
Let's do it.
So your favorite actor of all time, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. He was just a Mario boy. Now he's a cat boy. He's Garfield.
When's this movie coming out?
I don't know. I don't even think there's a release date or anything. It's just he's Garfield now. He's gonna be.
That feels weird to just announce early. Like they couldn't have at least given us a trailer or like a little.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but I mean we didn't talk about this I want to touch on this really briefly because I don't want to give Garfield
The lore of Garfield.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Garfield before Bill Murray was Garfield, right? In that animated movie in the early 2000s. Remember those ones?
Yeah, those were kind of silly because he looked like a real cat. I think,
yeah,
right?
it was like a fake. It was like if Garfield
almost like
was
Air Bud.
real. Yeah, yeah.
Air Bud quality.
But Chris Pratt's gonna. Do you think he's just gonna use his normal voice for both of these roles? Like he has to do a voice, right? Like he can't just talk like himself as Garfield and Mario. He has to have some sort of voice.
Mario for sure. He's gonna if he wants to stay true.
But do you think he's really gonna go around the whole movie like, oh, it's me? Like
he's gonna go that try hard with the original?
There's no way he does.
I don't know. Honestly, I think he's probably gonna do the same voice because they cast these people as celebrity voices, and it's literally just the character with like, hey, Chris Pratt. Like for the Lego movie,
it's just him.
That's just Chris Pratt.
But I mean, he's a good voice actor. Like he did good in the Lego movie, so I understand why he's cast. I don't want to just hear Chris Pratt talking when I'm watching Garfield and Mario.
Yeah, because sometimes it takes you away when the actor is so A-list that it's right in your face, you know?
Yeah, like when he has an unrecognizable or a recognizable voice, like too recognizable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but other Mario news, Donkey Kong's in it as well. Seth Rogen was already announced to be that. Apparently he's getting his own solo movie as well. The NCU is expanding quickly.
Dude, this is fucking scary. How much?
Next thing
we were right.
That Toad solo movie.
We got to get the boys back together and investigate further.
We're going to have to have a full
We can
NCU.
map it out.
Well, yeah, have it all up here.
Dude, we can do our map that's like what we think it'll be.
Oh, man. They're doing Smash
Seth Rogen,
Bros.
though? That's
they're
weird.
Definitely doing Smash Bros.
Yeah, for sure.
I bet you they do Smash Bros.
That's weird. I feel like they could have had Dave Bautista as Donkey Kong. That would have been a better casting.
That'd be kind of funny. I don't know.
Seth Rogen, I think of him
Seth Rogen
as a funny pothead. I think he makes pottery now, which is weird.
Maybe in this version Donkey Kong's hitting a little something with Diddy.
Getting zooted.
With Diddy Kong.
With Diddy.
Did Diddy get cast? Do we know who that is, or have they not cast him yet?
It's Jaden Smith. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think they've cast him.
What's up?
What else? Oh, this is a little bit more interesting, I think. These next two castings. Okay. We got an MCU rumor since we're about to talk about the MCU.
Oh, shit.
M.O.D.O.K, the big head guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, Jim Carrey has been cast as him for, quote, multiple Marvel projects. So that includes apparently She-Hulk, which I was surprised to hear that.
Whoa.
I don't know what other ones. That's the only one that's been named, I think. But it says multiple. So this could mean multiple TV shows or maybe a couple TV show cameos. Then he pops up in a movie. But yeah, what do you think of that?
That's really interesting. I feel like the casting ever since the Infinity Saga is wrapped up has been, I don't want to say spot on, but it's surprised me.
Yeah.
And, Jim Carrey in a comic book movie. I mean, he can do roles like that with the mask and honestly any of his other works. But who even is M.O.D.O.K, by the way? Is he part of?
So M.O.D.O.K's a very odd character.
Okay. Who's he affiliated to? Give me a team.
A team?
Yeah.
He pretty much he works on his own, I think. Or he commands people for the
Isn't he
most part.
in a fucking a chair? Kind of
he's in a giant
it's
thing
his head, right?
Up. Yeah, because his head's so big he can't walk.
He's what's his name? really big head from regular show, kind of like that.
He's like Pops.
Yeah, like Pops too.
No, he's okay. So I forget the character's name, but the gist of it is he was a regular guy, and then something happens to him that makes him extremely smart or something. He has like a psycho telekinesis powers or something like that. I think like his head is something like that along those lines. He can control things with the big head.
Maybe like X-Men type shit. Like
Kinda,
Charles Xavier.
And what I'm guessing is maybe we'll get Jim Carrey off at first, like in looking like a human, and then we see him throughout because it says multiple Marvel projects. Maybe they're gonna do.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like he'll slowly progress into the big head form. But I hope this is real because I want to see a big head.
Yeah, I feel like Marvel did a pretty cool job, like in Infinity War when Peter Dinklage was like that big ass.
A big troll or whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
the troll. I was gonna say dwarf, but that's the opposite.
Actually,
but no, they went like crazy with that, making him like life size.
Yeah, it looked very very good in that. Yeah, but I think besides Jim Carrey casting, we got your boy Nolan, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
he's making a movie and he's officially broken up with Warner Brothers.
Oh. I thought you were about to say his wife. I was like, oh dang.
No. Well, because he was making them exclusively, I think, for them for a while. But
a lot of them were.
He got pissed off because I think.
What they do, bro? What they do this time?
I think it was because of the HBO Max deal. Because you know how this year a lot of movies have came out on HBO as well as in theaters.
You know what? That makes sense because he's always been like he shoots in like the shit for IMAX. Which is
so
like
I can understand the annoyance, but. Okay. I think he's making exclusively for. Actually, I don't even know. I think it got confirmed, but I don't know who. It don't matter. The main thing is he's cast Matt Damon and Robert Downey Jr., which I know you told me about actually.
Yeah.
You can tell me more about that then, because I don't know nothing about this.
Well, the movie's called Oppenheimer.
Okay. It's
set to come out, I think, in 2 years, because like Nolan's films kind of take time, but I'm excited for it. I know he always likes to play with time in his movies, and I think. Like, I don't know. Tenet, it was good. It's not my favorite movie from him though. But I like seeing his movies. They're always really like, you watch it the first time and you're kind of like amazed, but then you go back to it to like enjoy it more.
I think I saw Tenet twice.
Good for you. I seen it once. Dude, you know more about it.
Because the first time I was so fucking confused because I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, that too.
It's loud as hell.
Yeah, that is one complaint I will have. He should have had subtitles, or the dude who mixed the beats fucking put it up like 20 decibels, like 20 fucking.
If you have the chance to watch it with subtitles on, put them on.
Yeah.
Because I will say.
Dialogue is very important.
I missed, like I can't think of it now because it's been months since I saw it. Yeah. But. When I first saw it, I watched it again with subtitles, and that time I was so much more interested because I was like, "Oh, that's what they're doing," and I was like, "Okay." I didn't know half of the shit that was happening because of that. Yeah. And the entire like ending, I got confused with until I had the subtitles on. Yeah. But that's another story. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm interested to see that. It's always cool seeing Robert Downey Jr. do something besides Iron Man.
Yeah, do something new.
Yeah.
Besides Dr. Dolittle, though.
No,
don't do that. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't even see that.
Didn't that come out?
Yeah.
Why didn't we review it?
Man, fuck that movie.
I heard there was a giant dragon in it that shows up, and apparently
Smog. Smog pulled up.
A dragon pulls up, but apparently a scene that was cut is they had to like take something out of the dragon's ass. I'm not even fucking,
bro, shut up.
I'm not even fucking
Stop
joking.
The cat.
All right, we're getting off topic. We'll talk about that in the Doolittle special.
Dude, you can't say that and not finish what
I don't have it in front of me. I don't know what happens. I haven't even seen the movie.
Next news.
Yeah, Doolittle special coming. Matt Smith, he was a Doctor Who. Yeah. You know him. He's the guy with the big head, big jaw.
This big face.
Yeah, he's got a big head. I don't think I've seen him in anything like it actually, but I know who he is.
Is he in Fantastic Beasts or am I? No.
That's
no. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, wait, is he in it?
No,
he's not.
I feel
no.
He looked like he'd be in it.
He looks like he could be in it. Yeah,
looked like he'd be a wizard.
Yeah, he was cast in Rise of Skywalker. I think we talked about it and guessed on what he could be potentially, but he wasn't in the movie at all.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, so He got completely
That
cut.
was so dumb, man. We actually had a whole episode being like, man, I wonder what this dude's, and then like he just wasn't in the fucking movie.
He's not in it. So we're getting a couple ideas of what he could have potentially been, because he was on a podcast recently, and he said that his the Rise of Skywalker role would have meant a big shift in the history of the franchise. So I don't know what that means. There's a couple people speculating. I don't know if these rumors are true, if people are just talking out their ass.
That's how it happens sometimes.
Yeah, but what I've heard is that he potentially was going to play a younger Palpatine, maybe in flashback, or maybe he had like a body stored, because the movie's about Palpatine like somehow changing his consciousness or his soul into other bodies or something.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird, but
it is weird how they just introduced that. But it's Star Wars, so I can kind of believe that would exist, I guess.
So he was either going to be like, I guess, a younger version of him that
I could see that
moved his body into, which would have been more interesting, because then we would see, we've always seen old Palpatine. It'd be cool to see him when he was actually doing like flips and lightsaber things, you know, when he was younger in his prime.
I know, yeah.
And we would have seen Rey and Kylo Ren fight him at the end, instead of them just like yelling at each other in the dark room while he talks about infinite power. Yeah.
That movie sucked.
It's a big disappointment.
Big miss.
I honestly think for me it might be like,
dude, it's worse than the Phantom Menace.
It's not. It's
no.
When you look at the story, it's not that bad. I mean, it is, but like,
it's a lot to wrap up for a Star Wars movie.
Well, for a Star Wars movie, and all the hype behind it, all the stuff they built towards, for them to just give us this, to me, it feels like at the bottom. Almost. I don't know. In reality, I know it's better than the prequels, because the prequels are boring besides the fighting and besides the ending of Revenge of the Sith. Okay. But I know in reality it's better than those movie-wise, because there's at least entertainment and funny parts.
I like J.J. Abrams' direction too.
Yeah.
I think I kind of was unappreciative of it at first. But
I think it's more annoying when you think of what could have been.
True.
But yeah, anyway, I think that's most of the news, but one more thing before we get into the Eternals review, because this is a little bit of news about Eternals slightly. Disney chose not to censor the gay scene for their international release for Eternals. So there's a gay character in this. Yeah. And he has a husband, and I think they kiss. And they chose not to censor that for the other countries that I guess their beliefs are completely against that. So I think it's not being shown in Saudi Arabia and some other Middle Eastern countries due to it being the first openly gay super character. It's Fastos. Yeah. Yeah. So,
I don't really care. I mean,
I don't either.
It's like a marriage. You can show affection.
Yeah, I don't. I just wanted to point that out there, you know, before we jump right into the review.
Saudi Arabians missing out.
They are missing out. I mean, it doesn't. I don't even. It's in it for like 10 seconds. If it's how is 10 seconds gonna like kill the whole movie for you?
Would you rather get engrossed in like a cool like sci-fi Marvel movie and then like they kiss and you're just like, oh fuck, man, like, come on, let's fucking turn it off.
Okay.
Let's get into this review.
Yeah. All right. So let's go non-spoilers briefly, since it just came out. Yeah. For the people that are on the fence about seeing it, because there is a lot of talk on if this movie's good or worth seeing.
Let me pull up the Rotten Tomatoes shit.
Rotten Tomatoes has been taking a shit on this movie.
Keep in mind, like, take their reviews with a grain of salt. Yeah. We always say go in and see it yourself if you really want to see how a movie is. You know, you're your own best judge.
Yeah, I've always said that if it's probably best to see a movie yourself, regardless of what people say. I mean, even unless people are completely saying it's like everyone is consistently saying it sucks. You know, maybe then not then. But what does Rotten Tomatoes say?
So the critics' consensus, it's a 48%, which is rotten. It's an ambitious superhero epic.
48?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my god.
With over 300 critic reviews. So the critic consensus is Eternals is an ambitious superhero epic that soars as often as it strains. Eternals takes the MCU in intriguing and occasionally confounding new directions. So, okay, that was kind of generalized.
Look, so this is one thing I got to say about Rotten Tomatoes. If you don't know how the rating system works between what's rotten and what's what's fresh, the way it works is if you say anything like either just a little bit negative or a little bit positive, it just says it's rotten or fresh. So if I were to write a review and I'm like, yeah, it's good, like just like that, then
It's like the YouTube like dislike and like bar.
yeah, like if I said yeah, it's good, then that would count as it's fresh.
Yeah.
But if I was like,
I didn't enjoy it.
Like it wasn't that good to me, but whatever. Then that would be count as rotten. So all these reviews, it's in the ones in the middle when it's like, yeah, I mean, I could see how like this part's interesting, but then this with those, I think they literally just like it's pretty much like flipping a coin. So for those ones where people are pretty much down the middle, that can go either way as rotten or fresh. So a lot of times the reviews aren't very, you can't really judge it on Rotten Tomatoes views. You know, I think it's better to like see it for yourself and just maybe watch someone that actually, I just don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. Don't put all your faith in them.
Yeah.
But Nick, non-spoilers, what's this movie about?
So
without spoiling it.
Pretty much this is just going to be my general plot.
Mm-hmm.
It follows the Celestials who existed before what the movie calls the Singularities, which are the Infinity Stones.
Yep.
And they created universes and they multiply and stuff. And the Eternals were made by the Celestials to be on Earth because this is a lot to take in. The Celestials created deviants to take down predators on planets so the populations would grow. And then once the deviants turned bad, they created Eternals to kind of just police different planets and stuff. And that's where we find our heroes is the deviants have come back mysteriously and the Eternals have to round up and find each other. There's a lot of lore that goes into it, and I feel like the first hour, for me, kind of dragged. But you know, it's a lot of exposition. It's like 10. The fucking cast is insane. It's good, but it's a lot to take in. And this is. Do you want to talk about if you wanted it to be linear, or do you want to save that?
Let's talk about that in spoilers because I got a lot to say with that.
Okay,
spoilers.
yeah, that is going to be spoilers.
For non-spoilers, I'll just say pretty much what Nick said. It's they're created by the Celestials, which are like godlike beings, and they're just pretty much they're on Earth for the reason of kind of fostering their development because the deviants are there as well. The deviants are there to, I guess, kill humans and like feast on them. They're just bad guys, and they're there to protect them from that. And then once the Earth is rid of deviants, they can go home, which they believe is Olympia.
Yes,
or which is Olympia.
They come from Olympia.
Yeah, and that's pretty much why they're on Earth. And then, you know, stuff happens. They have to get back together. That's pretty much all I can really say with that because there's a lot of.
I know. There's really cool fight scenes in this.
There's like 2 or 3 like twists, I would say, like things that are hidden from the plot until like halfway through. So
let's go over, I guess, kind of the main cast and stuff because that's not really spoilers.
So Cersei is Gemma Chan. You know her?
I like Cersei.
Yeah, I thought
she was kind of like the main character of the whole movie.
You kind of follow her throughout the way.
And her relationship with one Kit Harington, who plays...
Oh, it's not Kit Harington, it's Richard Madden. Oh, wait, no, it is Kit Harington.
Yeah, Kit Harington. See, bro, I'm on my Game of Thrones shit.
She's with both of them now.
Oh, yeah, technically. Hey, spoiler. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it adds some spiciness, but... Yeah, Kit Harington's in this. He plays, is it Dane Whitman?
It's Dane Whitman.
Yeah, who's a comic book character. We're going to talk about in the spoilers because... Oh boy,
he doesn't really do much in this movie.
He kind of just like.
I don't think that's too much.
He doesn't simp actually. He's a pretty good boyfriend to her.
He's cool.
Yeah.
But like, the only thing that sucks about it is I feel like he could be taken out of this movie completely, and not much changes. He's kind of just there. I'm enjoying him being there.
Yeah.
But like you know.
Yeah, I get you.
But it's cool. We also got Icarus, played by Richard Madden, also from Game of Thrones.
Rob Stark, baby.
Yeah.
I watched Game of Thrones before I saw this movie, and like me and my girlfriend got hyped because I was like, "Yo, like it's Jon Snow and Rob Stark," and I feel like that had a lot of appeal when people saw the trailer.
Have you got past the Red Wedding episode?
Yeah, I finished the finale of season 4.
What'd you think of the Red Wedding? Spoilers of Game of Thrones.
It's fucking tore my heart out, bro.
That dude dead. Rob Stark gone.
Yeah.
So is his wife. So is all of the entire army.
Pretty much all the Starks.
Starks are just getting
where
shit
I'm
on.
at. Yeah, the Starks are getting fucked up.
That's pretty much Game of Thrones. The Starks just take
the show. I'll say this, and then we'll move on. The show never fails to surprise me. I can't imagine what the books are like.
I want to eventually read the books. But yeah, we also got Ajak, who's Salma Hayek. She's kind of like she's the Prime Eternal.
Yeah,
she's their leader.
Yeah, they call them Prime Eternals because only they can speak with Celestials.
what's this Celestial's name? Like
Arsham.
Arsham.
That's what
Arsham.
it is.
He's like the big red one you see in the trailers.
For anyone listening or watching, this is a lot of information. But if you watch the movie, it will help.
Just wait till you get to the spoilers. There's a lot to take in.
Even I won't know what's happening.
Yeah. Thena is Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I liked her character. She was really cool.
I like how all of them, since they've been on Earth since like the beginning, like Mesopotamia area, which is like one of the first, I think, what is credited as the first society of human beings. I forgot what they called themselves, like the Samayans or something. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not
Mesopotamians,
a history buff. But they're I think credited as the first civilization, which you see in the movie. That's
crazy.
So they've been there since the beginning. But what I like is Thena, since she's been there from the beginning, and all of them have, all of these myths and like stories that we have in real life, like Athena, the god of war and stuff.
Yeah.
It's her because people have seen her. She really existed, and they wrote about her. But they gave it Athena when it's really Thena is her name. It got
that's cool.
It's like lost in translation type stuff.
Yeah, that is cool.
And the same thing with Icarus. There's a story of Icarus with his wings flying too close to the sun, which they do a cute little joke in this. It's not really much of a spoiler. I think Sprite says that she made that story up about Icarus.
That's funny.
And all the other ones, they're people from history. Athena is the easiest one to recognize because everyone knows who Athena is, I think.
Yeah.
And Icarus as well. But some of the other ones are more
like Gilgamesh Makari.
I can't remember who he's supposed to be.
What do you mean?
From history.
Oh, from history. I know the actor's John Lee, right?
It's Don Lee.
Don
Gilgamesh. He's pretty much just punches people. Let me just breeze through all of them real quick. Then we got Kingu, played by Kumail Nanjiani, who got extremely ripped for no reason.
He looked good.
He looks so different compared to what he looked like before.
Yeah.
Sprite, Leah McHugh. Fastos is Brian Tyree Henry. Makari is Lauren Ridloff. And Druig is Barry Keoghan. So, Druig controls people.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh just punches people. Makari is a speedster. Fastos is like a technology whiz who can create stuff. Sprite could create illusions. Kingu just has like finger guns. He just shoots lasers out of his hands. Athena just creates, she's a god of war. She creates stuff. Ajak, she has healing powers. Icarus can fly and he's pretty much Superman.
Yeah.
And Cersei can change matter. So she can touch something and turn it into something.
Yeah, turn it into liquid and then...
Yeah.
Interesting.
So those are all the characters, and if that sounded like a lot to you, it is. And that's why this movie is almost 3 hours long. There is a lot to get through.
Yeah.
A lot of characters to flesh out.
A lot of exposition.
There's a lot of exposition, and I think that's why this movie's not as well liked, because it's still... I've heard a lot of people say it doesn't feel MCU to them.
It does feel like...
It feels like a Marvel movie still, but it feels longer than a lot of them. I think that's what people are messing up with. What else can we say before getting into spoilers?
Dang, look at these posters. Maybe we can throw these up. I didn't see these posters before. That's cool.
That's a cool poster. I like that.
And Dane. He has his own poster. These are really cool posters.
So I think we should get into spoilers because I don't know if there's much else we can say without spoiling everything.
Yeah.
Before going into spoilers though, I would say it's worth seeing.
Yeah, I like this movie, and you should go see it.
I would say overall, I enjoy it. It's definitely not the worst Marvel movie, like the ratings say.
Yeah,
I can think this is better than Thor 2.
Yeah,
this is
easily.
This is better than at least like 10 Marvel movies.
It's as entertaining as like maybe the first Captain America, but it's a lot to take in. So if you're gonna sit down, you gotta like.
Yeah, and it's definitely. I think it's different than all the other Marvel movies too. So
yeah, it does feel very different.
Different.
It maybe people are mistaking it for not being a Marvel movie for just being the new age of Marvel movies.
Yeah, I think it's worth seeing though. I would, but without spoiling, I'd say I'd give it a decent 7 out of 10. If you're thinking about where it lies, if you want to know, you might like it more. One of our friends rated it 8. Nick's girlfriend rated it 8.5. So the ratings are like all over the place. Some people really like it. Some people it's all right. And some people just, I guess, hate it.
You also got to give projects like these time to age. Like the grand scheme of things, You gonna come back to this? Did I put it on my letterbox? Oh yeah,
You did.
I did review it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just get right into spoilers.
All right. Spoiler warning is lifted.
All right. So spoilers, full on spoilers. The Earth is an egg.
Yeah, that's pretty much happening. The big twist in the whole movie is Salma Hayek, who is the Prime Eternal. She can talk to Arsham, and she tells Icarus that the entire time they are pretty much synthetic, right? They're not actual.
So they're technically robots.
Yeah, they're celestial beings, but
I mean,
they're given the powers of like
of celestial
gods and celestials, but they look like humans.
Energy.
But what they've been doing the entire time is they've jumped to the planets multiple times. What they've actually done is they've been getting rid of the deviants so that the population can grow, because the Earth actually has to reach a certain point of intelligent life to birth a celestial.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
So, yeah.
That's pretty much what's
they've
happening.
been told they're there to help humanity grow and protect them from the deviants, where in reality they were there to kind of
protect the planet.
Protect the deviants from killing them, because the deviants are trying to kill them so the celestial can't be born.
Yes.
Because the celestial threw a seed into the center of the Earth, and it needs the human population energy. So it needs to reach a certain population for it to be born.
Yes, for it to fertilize.
When Thanos snapped his fingers, it pretty much delayed that by cutting off half the population.
When this happened, like in the movie, like when they explained it, like my girlfriend leaned in. She's like, I guess Thanos was right. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I want to talk about that. That comes into one of my potential plot holes.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know if you want to. Do you want to jump right into a plot hole right away?
Let's do one. We'll scatter them out. First plot hole.
This is one thing that this is early on too, so this helps. So within the first 15 minutes, we're already introduced to Cersei. And before that, the opening scene is them at the beginning of their creation, I guess. They go to Earth and they go to Mesopotamia back in like 5,000 BC or something like that.
Yeah.
And they stop some deviants. And this is something I actually really liked. So she has like one of their spears, and Cersei, and she turns it into like gold or blue and gold or something. And that's actually a real life artifact if you look it up.
Really?
It's a real artifact that's from real life, from Mesopotamia. So she creates it, and then she's like handing it over to one of them, and it completely mirrors the creation of Adam, that painting where it's like the gods like reaching down, and then like the people
on the
up,
16th
like
chapel.
they're like about to touch each other's hands. It mirrors that perfectly.
That's cool.
Because she's holding it, and then his hand, he's reaching for it. So that I like that. I noticed those little things. I don't know about Nick.
I see you.
Not yet. But then
that's cool.
Before we get into the bottle, I just want to say right after that, as that's happening, a song starts playing, and it's "Time" by Pink Floyd, and I think it might be my favorite Marvel intro crawl, where they play all the scroll.
Yeah.
Where they play all the comics and stuff, and it says Marvel Studios, because the song, if you listen to the lyrics, it actually perfectly translates like what the Eternals are going through, because it starts off with like time seems like infinite, and then they're like the lyrics are talking about like, oh, like, well, how like time, like how long you go on for, like, it deals with time pretty much. How long, like, what's the purpose to keep going on, waiting for something to tell you what's like worth living for, like keep going on for. It has to do with time, and I think it works perfectly for the intro and the overall arcing plot. But then we get to present day. Cersei, she's dating Dane Whitman.
She's in London.
She's in London. It's Dane's birthday, Kit Harington's character. And then this is where the plot hole comes in. A deviant shows up. They fight it real quick. Sprite helps. Dane's right there. Cersei. Icarus shows up. They beat it. And then it runs away. And then there's a little brief scene between Cersei and Kit Harington, Dane, and he's like, why didn't you help stop Thanos? Yeah. And all the other bad things. He says like all the other bad stuff across time. And she says that they were instructed to only interfere when deviants were involved, because they couldn't stop the wars or anything like that, because they're meant to have their evolution.
Yeah, they said that they interfered in every little encounter would have stunted their evolution.
Pretty much,
that's how they put it.
And it made sense in the movie.
I can see that.
It makes sense when I watched it, but then afterwards I started thinking, and I wrote this down. So they're told not to interfere, but isn't Thanos, he's technically a deviant. I don't know. They haven't said it in the show, but in the comics,
he has a deviant gene.
He has a deviant gene. Thanos is an Eternal because his brother's an Eternal, and you see his his brother is a post-credit scene. Now we're in spoilers. So they're Eternals.
Harry Styles,
they're
bitch.
they're technically Eternals, but he has a deviant gene, which is why he looks so messed up.
Yeah.
So
that's why he ugly ass.
Why would they not interfere? Because he's technically a deviant. He has a deviant gene, and what he's doing is directly interfering with what they're doing. So like, you get what I'm saying? Like, what he's doing is wiping out half of the population on everywhere. So that's directly affecting not just Earth's celestial that's going to be born, but every potential celestial throughout the universe that is potentially going to be born. You know what I'm saying? It's directly affecting it.
Yes.
So why would they not interfere with that?
I think that is a plot hole.
I agree.
I think I see what you're saying. And honestly, I feel like they could have written it in another way where like maybe the Eternals were just put to sleep when Thanos was like, I feel like they could have done that instead of them just being like, yeah, we was there, but you know,
we just didn't do nothing.
He was on the bench. Like
that's so interesting because like,
yeah, that is a good technicality actually. He is pretty much a deviant.
He's not like a straight up
like
deviant,
bigger picture, like
he has a deviant gene. Yeah.
I don't know. I can look past this just because I know Marvel kind of wrote this movie like after the fact of the Infinity Saga. Yeah, so I can get over it, but that is a plot hole.
There's other plot holes that I think are bigger. That was kind of like the lowest one out of the other three. I can't really think of any ways like what the hell were they thinking.
Yeah,
and one of them might just be me not remembering correctly, and I wanted to ask you your opinion on that. But
okay,
yeah, before we'll get into that later. So we learned that deviants were created before the Eternals for the same purpose of the Eternals. They were there to kind of stop like the predators from killing.
Yeah, get rid of like apex predators.
Yeah, to let them evolve, but they evolved themselves and then they started attacking everything as well.
Yeah, they just like went rogue.
Yeah, pretty much. And so then the Celestials created Eternals for the purpose of stopping their past failure. And by this is a partly a plot hole, but I didn't put it in my plot holes thing because it's just more so I could get over it, like you said with the Thanos one.
Yeah.
He says that he created Celestials with the intention that they are unable to evolve, but I mean they technically evolve emotionally.
That's true.
Like they don't evolve, I guess, physically. They look the same throughout that whole time, but I mean they definitely emotionally changed.
Yeah,
they're able to have emotional development. But
I mean that's pretty cool because in the end it ended up saving, like they evolved as better heroes by the end of the movie.
Yeah, and then it's also revealed. Okay, so the reason why all this is revealed is because Ajak, the main Prime Eternal, she is killed after the Deviant shows up and there's a big earthquake. They go back to her because she's their leader, and they're like, "Yo, like the Deviants are back," and we find out that she's actually dead.
Yo, she died?
Ajak.
No, I'm just kidding.
And this is pretty early on.
Died. Yeah, it was really early on. And I thought Salma Hayek was going to be in... I mean, she is in a lot of it.
She's in it, but a lot of it is flashbacks.
Yeah.
And that's what, to me, I was not expecting. And I kind of enjoy that, you know?
Yeah, that caught me off guard.
It caught me off guard,
I'm glad that
too.
Marvel, like...
I think it worked good.
It did, yeah.
And then we're not told this right away. We're told this near almost the end of the story. But she wasn't killed by deviants. She was actually killed by Icarus.
Damn. Hate to see it.
Yeah, so Icarus, that's another big... There's a couple big twists in this.
Yeah.
I think the first one is Ajak dying early, their leader. The second one is finding out that the Celestials are really there to pretty much destroy Earth so a Celestial can be born. And then the next big twist is that Icarus is actually kind of the main bad guy, along with that other deviant, but he doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
That's one of my complaints we'll get into.
And then Fastos being gay. not that there's nothing wrong with that, but that caught me off guard. He had a kid. He had a whole kid in the time that...
That's true. I mean, he's been alive for like 7,000... They've been there for 7,000 years.
I actually did like the aspect of them being alive for so long, and then they wanted the taste of like humanity. Even like Sprite was like... She's like, why did the Celestials make me this way? Like, I won't ever. How
Sprite, that would make sense that you would be annoyed. Like, what could you do?
Yeah.
Because if you look a kid your whole life, you can't do none of the fun
stuff.
Yeah,
you can't really do shit.
I mean, you can have some fun, but
it's like candy. Like, yeah, that must be really boring.
Yeah, it's
to be a kid forever, because adolescence is like good because it's fleeting, and like hers is just
it's
eternal.
unending.
No, I'm
I
just
mean,
kidding.
I'm sure she matures emotionally.
Yeah,
Like she's an adult in her mind.
I mean, well, technically not, because their memories were wiped.
Well, they're all, I guess, have the maturity of an adult or a god then when they're created, because they're meant to be
eternal,
and they're meant to be intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they're technically robots. That's what my main point was getting to. Ajax died, so Cersei gets the golden ball that is inside of Ajax's body.
It's a snitch.
It's a snitch. Yeah, it comes out of her, and it's what she uses to talk to hear shit or whatever.
Arsham.
I
don't know why I remembered it so well. They said it a lot during the movie.
They say it a lot, and I'm not gonna lie. It took halfway through. I was like, "Who the fuck is
the two things that fucking fucked me up were so Arsham is the dude.
The one that's in the earth is Tiamat.
Yeah, Tiamat, who's the dreaming celestial. Actually, I did my research. Yeah. I think he was wilding, and the Celestials put him to sleep, so he's like a sleeping Celestial. But yeah.
Okay. So yeah, my main point is that's how we learn all of this exposition that's dumped on us halfway through, or like maybe an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
It's once Cersei gets the ball in her, and at first she can't.
Such a weird phrase.
Well, she does.
Yeah, it does go in her
throat. The first
throat.
thing is she sees him, and he says, "It is almost time," and then that's it.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, and
he's
then
like.
Going back though, because you don't know that Icarus is really the bad guy at this time, but looking back on it in a second watch, it's interesting because knowing that he actually goes in last behind them because he knows what they're gonna find, so he wants to be behind them when they find it, so he doesn't want to be the one to find the body because it'll be you got to act like oh shit.
Yeah.
But then what's interesting is he I think is like concerned that she got chosen.
Yeah,
Cersei.
He wanted to be the next.
He wanted to be the next one. He definitely didn't want it to be her because he's in love with her, and when she says like oh like I saw him like he says like are you sure like he's like it could be like Mad Weary or whatever, like he wants to make sure like it's not her, he doesn't want it to be her.
Yeah. Do you want to explain what the Mad Weary is?
Yeah, we got to talk about that. So there's a flashback again right after this that explains what Mad Weary is, and Thena has it, Angelina Jolie's character. It's pretty much just superhero Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to explain it.
But it's revealed later on that it's not.
It's like they think it's from being alive too long, like the Eternal's lifespan causes their memories to fracture.
Because they are alive for a long time, and they don't know that their minds are wiped. Or Ajax does,
yeah,
but none of the other ones know. And
yeah, but the truth is, they actually just get their minds wiped.
Yeah, whenever Cersei talks to Arsham.
I feel like I'm teaching you a language. Arsham.
Whenever she
talks to that dude,
she's able to talk to him later on. Whenever they go and recruit Thena and Gilgamesh, to come back and help them.
They were in Australia.
I
liked how they went to different locations and stuff. Yeah. It was cool. They didn't even have like title cards of where they were, did they? Like I think they just showed up to places.
It just said. I think it did say Australia because for Ajax it said South Dakota.
Oh, that's right. It did.
And
then Ajax was in South Dakota.
And then Druig was in the Amazon.
Yeah, that was weird. He was just chilling with this, like, I don't know. He kind of creeped me out.
Yeah,
and then Makari,
the weirdest. Makari was she just?
She was just on the ship the whole time.
She's barely in this.
She was on the ship the whole time.
What a
and then like the
loser
final
life.
No, she. Yeah, she didn't really do much like outing.
I feel bad because Makari. I thought the speedster scenes where she's running.
Yeah,
I thought they looked really cool.
Those were fucking like I felt like I was moving with her.
Unlike,
like everything was moving around.
Yeah,
her.
exactly, and that's what's so cool about it. All the other speedsters you've seen in movies so far, like
slow-mo.
It's slow-mo, and that looked cool at the time. And I was like, oh, I'm glad they didn't do that because we've seen it before. I'm like what they did.
Yeah, it was
how
different.
You said everything's moving around her.
Yeah.
Which, you got to see it. It looks great.
It's like driving through traffic and you just see lines of like neon and
like but you see it like at a much quicker pace.
Yeah.
She's running like.
It's cool.
It looks.
Really I think there's literally like a 15 to like 20 second of her just running around.
Yeah.
Like the battlefield or something, and like you can see how fast she's jumping. It's cool.
Yeah. I wish we got more of her because she's not in this too much. She's in like the first scene. She's
one of the last people they reunite with.
She's literally the last one they find. She's there when they get to the ship.
Yeah.
I actually thought she was going to be revealed that she died because there's a plot hole. And this is the next one that brings me to.
Here we go.
This is a plot hole.
One.
It's right after they find out that Ajax died, and their sprite is playing a memory of the last time she saw them, and they're all talking. She says, quote, it's been 7,000 years since one of us died. Or she said, or since, I don't know. That's what I swear she said, since one of us died. Or she said, since one of us, I don't know if she said, maybe she said almost died. But I don't know, because she definitely says something like that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so there's going to be not a total of Salma Hayek died. So that would be, and then, so it would be like a total of 7 then, or like 8. Because one of them dies, or Gilgamesh dies.
Yeah.
In present day, but she says it's been years since one of us died, but no one dies in a flashback.
Yeah.
Do you remember her saying this?
I think when they're in the pyramid, right, or like in that little area when the village is burning.
Right after they found out that Ajak died.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong in remembering this. But she definitely said it's been 7,000 years since one of us, and then she either says died or almost died.
Okay.
And then right after that, they show the flashback, and this is when I thought someone was gonna die, because it's right when we see Thena have her mad weary.
Yeah, and she attacks them.
So I'm like, okay, she killed one of them, but then that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe they changed the script, and maybe they were like, oh, let's just keep them all alive.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, because they just kept that part in. I really don't know. I might be mishearing it, but I saw it twice, and I waited for this line because I was like, I remembered that from the first time we saw it, and I still could have sworn this is what she said. I don't know though. That's a potential plot hole. So you could just be remembering it wrong.
You were expecting Makari to die because of that, or one of the Eternals?
Well, because she stops Thena from stabbing somebody, and then it looks like she gets stabbed like straight through the body, which she does.
Oh yeah.
But then Ajak can just heal everybody.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
They're fine. So I was like, okay, like, well then who dies? And no one died.
Yeah.
No one dies in any of the past time. It's all in present day. The people that die. Ajak gets killed, and then Gilgamesh dies later on.
Oh yeah, that sucked. I kind of didn't like that.
Yeah, Gilgamesh was cool. I guess if anyone was gonna die, I guess he's the least interesting because all he does is punch people. But
nice. He makes pies, bro.
Dialogue,
come on.
yeah.
He makes pies.
He did make a pie.
Didn't even eat
I
it.
like that little scene where they're at his house having a little dinner and they have a little conversation.
Yeah, it seems like they're all just a family sitting down, like catching up.
Yeah,
like it's been like that for years.
But before they go there, they go to Bollywood to get Kingu.
Oh yeah,
and I like his interest.
Yeah, I think he's the most interesting character, which kind of pisses me off because of the finale because he just dips.
Yeah, Kingu is. I like how since he's eternal, and he's alive forever. He explains that for the last like 100 years or so, he's just played it like himself, like his great grandfather in like movies, and then he was his great grandfather, then his grandfather, and his father, and him. And he's like, I'm part of like the greatest dynasty of acting in like Bollywood history.
The Bollywood professional.
I do like that. That's pretty funny.
Actor.
And then we get introduced to his valet.
Gus.
Is that his name?
I don't know.
I don't remember what his name was. But
dude, this guy stole the fucking show. That
guy, it was the best part of the movie. This guy.
I think that's what made it like feel like a Marvel movie because of how funny it was. He made it feel like a Marvel movie
for sure. Because up until then, it was pretty different. And then once you get there, that's when it starts feeling like a Marvel movie. Because he has hilarious. He's making a documentary and filming them while they go along, and eventually his camera gets smashed, and it becomes like a joke that comes like up 2 more times, where he's like, always bring back up
Karun, that's his
and
name.
He has like 3 different cameras.
Yes.
And Kingu at one part he shoots a deviant's head off and it gets all over his head and he's like, oh, but he's like, did you get that? It's like, I got that, son. Like,
yes, I did.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
He steals the show. That
was pretty funny.
He's great.
Jaden was laughing his ass off. Anytime he came on screen, he was
Jaden
like,
Jaden was dying, man. Yeah, he was great. Let's see. So, what else happens, Nick? We already talked about them getting.
What do you think about the big reveal? Do you think it was told like good?
Is the big reveal the part where we find out what the main plot is?
Yeah, the emergence and what that actually is. We find out Icarus murdered Ajax. Do you think since the story was told in like so much exposition and flashbacks, it made it impactful, or do you think it should have been told linear?
So. That's a good question because this movie has a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, sometimes that throws me off because like maybe if they had like them like the flashbacks black and white or like I don't know, just something to symbolize, you know, like a character with shorter hair, something like that, to where you can be like, oh, okay, this is like the past, instead of having it to be like 500 BC.
Well,
like it's spread out through different timelines.
That's why I think kids are probably going to be like, kids aren't going to see this.
No,
I mean they might, because their older brother might be like, a new Marvel movie. It's like, oh shit.
hey.
Yeah, but anyway, you have to know how the years work, because I almost got tripped up seeing it. So BC stands for before Christ, I believe, and it's supposed to be before the whole thing with Jesus.
Dude, Sprite is fucking 14.
Yeah, she's young. She's a kid.
She's a good actress, man.
She's pretty good.
I feel like she was one of the most like emotionally deep characters.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on.
Anyway, but BC is pretty much before like the year 1. It's all the stuff prior.
Before Christ. I think that's what it stands for.
Yeah, before Christ is what it means. And AD is after death. So after like Christ died.
Yeah.
And if you don't pick up and read that, because it does say at the beginning, it says Mesopotamia 5000 BC, and then it says Babylon, which is like 575 BC, and then there's one more place they go to, which is 400 BC. It's when Cersei and Icarus get married in a flashback. Oh yeah, there's a sex scene in this movie, which apparently was controversial for some people. Did you hear about that?
There was.
Yeah,
I saw this. What the fuck was it, man?
It was when
no,
Icarus is like,
right,
he's like, I love you, Cersei. He's like, you can I'm all yours if you'll have me. And then she kisses him, and then they're having sex on the rocks.
Yeah,
I don't even know if you can call that a sex scene though. Like they're naked, like you just see his back and you see her shoulders, but there's not much movement going on. Like he's pretty much
Marvel.
just
no, I'm just kidding.
It's like, it's pretty much just him on top of her looking down at her, and then he says, I love you, and she says it, I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know why
this
is
controversial.
Man. I don't understand it. People
who is out there that's just like saying everything's controversial?
People get soft,
dude,
man.
I know, I hate to be in that crowd, but like, come on.
Yeah, anyway.
Crazier shit is happening.
But what I was saying about the years is they're in BC. The last time they're in BC, I believe, is when they are when they get married at some like
village
Indian place or something, because they have like
that's right, it is in India.
Yeah, it's in India,
and like the whole family's there.
Yeah, and then what's cool actually looking back on it is that you see all the other Eternals happy, and if you look, Sprite is kind of like, she looks like she's annoyed because she likes Icarus.
Yeah, and
then if you look, Thena also looks kind of, she doesn't look mad like a Sprite, but it might show that Thena never really fully trusted Icarus, which is interesting. There's also a big foreshadow I noticed that I didn't notice the first time, obviously. When we first see them at Cersei's apartment after the first deviant attack, Sprite is holding a knife, and she like looks at the knife, like she unshields it, and it's the same knife that she stabs Cersei in the back with at the end of the movie.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. But
what a bitch, dude.
So my main point is, in the flashbacks, if you don't read that it says BC, and then you don't notice that it says AD, it says AD at one point whenever they're in. Oh man, I can't pronounce it.
Oh no. It's
like Themokishkara. It's the.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's the place where pretty much.
When I was like watching it on screen, I was like, okay, that's where they are. Yeah,
it's the Spanish conquistadors have their guns, and they show up and they shoot down all these like.
Oh my god, yeah, that's when they fucking.
It's when Druid is like, I can stop this. Like,
I think they did that because that was one of the first like recorded acts of genocide that was happening before. Yeah. And it wasn't even like a war.
Yeah, they're just killing.
Like they were just.
And that's when they break up. That's when the Eternals, they all depart.
Yeah,
because that's right when they defeated the last deviants.
Yeah,
and then Druid is like, I can stop them from killing each other. This isn't war. It's just genocide. And Ajax says no. And then he's like, if you guys want to stop me, like, you'll have to kill me. And then he stops some people, and then he leaves. Remember?
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, when they all broke up, because then Ajax says, you guys don't have to stay with me no more. And I guess Icarus stayed with her. And then
because he was with her in North Dakota.
Yeah, because he didn't stay with her completely, but he definitely stayed with her for some time. It's implied, because it's implied later on that Ajax told him about the emergence. So he knew the truth, and he was just waiting on it to happen. But that's why he left Cersei, because he knew Cersei like loves the human race and loves humanity, and he was married to her, and he knew if he was with her that he would eventually tell her, and that she would be in pain and like want to stop it early.
Yeah, didn't he want to tell this to her when they were at Druig's place and they got attacked? He was like trying to admit something to her, wasn't he? Because he wanted to tell her the truth of why he left her.
Maybe. Oh, right. Yeah, right before he got attacked.
And then he got his ass like.
Was he gonna tell her?
I don't know. Like
It's hard to say.
They talked about their past relationship, and he was like, "I'm sorry, I disappeared." He kind of was like beat her on the bush.
I don't think he would have told her because he seemed extremely loyal to Celestials.
Yeah, no, bitch ass. But
let's see.
Yeah, but when the Celestials break up, Salma Hayek, Ajak, she's like, "Oh, I want you guys to live normal lives. Like, I want you to go and just find yourselves, and like when we all meet up again, like I want you to tell me what you found." And everyone kind of did.
That was the last time a lot of them saw her. Then I guess.
Yeah.
Besides, like maybe Cersei, Sprite, Icarus.
Not a lot of them got to talk to her.
We did. The only other flashback we get is a short one. So we see that Phastos, at least, still talk to her here and there. We get a Hiroshima flashback.
Oh yeah.
And that's when he gave up on humanity because he made the plow, he created the bomb as well.
Yeah, that like I guess had a butterfly effect.
I mean. I guess.
I disagree with that. He made the plow because it would have helped society, like. I mean, with agriculture,
it must be implied that he helped them advance with
too quickly. He must have
gave them other stuff besides the plow, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Gave him the grenade. Like, say here, boy.
If he just gave them the plow, I would not feel guilty. Like, if that's all he ever gave them.
They did this.
He must have given them other stuff, and because he's crying because. And then that's when he says humans don't deserve to be saved or whatever because they bombed Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And that's when he gave up on humanity. But he has a family, and they're trying to get him to help them save humanity. And he ends up doing so because he has a kid and he has a family of people he cares about.
Yeah.
So he wants to see them grow up. So they can't grow up if the earth gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main reason why I like this movie overall. Every character has their own
drive.
Yeah, their own drive, their own moral. It's a moral compass. You're pretty much saying like what is the right thing to do. Because Kingu says he ends up believing like he's like, I mean, I don't see us as the bad guys. We did what we were supposed to do. He's like, I'm not gonna like fight you guys to stop this place. He's like I love it too. But I don't feel like bad for it. And I think that's why Kingu didn't help anyone at the end.
Yeah,
which I kind of didn't like. But at the same time, I'm just using him as an example. Like Icarus is full on like, no, like this is our job. I will do anything to stop it. Whereas Kingu's like, it's our job. We did it, but I'm not going to fight you guys over it because I care about you as well. And then other people are like, no, like, if we can't trade lives pretty much. So there's different moral compasses, and in a way nobody is really wrong.
Yeah, it's interesting because they all went out to be themselves and they have developed these own morals.
Like no one is like they are wrong. They're all, even the deviants, because we find out that the deviants are pretty much just trying to survive as well. Like that's why they're doing what they're doing. And I think that could have been way interesting than what we got, because the only deviant we get once he sucks out Gilgamesh's like life,
his juice.
Yeah,
it was weird. He was freaking tweaking, and then
he turns.
You just see him fucking be like, oh.
He looks weird, and then he speaks,
and then he's like, oh shit.
That's
like,
Bill Skarsgård, by the way, the guy that did It, Pennywise.
No, it's Peter Skarsgård. It's like one of
Bill
his.
Skarsgård.
No, it's Peter.
Look him up.
I swear I heard it was Peter Skarsgård.
It's Bill.
Okay, let's do this.
I will call Nick out on the pod.
Anyways, keep going.
Whoever wins, they buy in lunch.
I swear they buy in lunch
next time we hang out. All right, yeah. Nick's got the cast list up right now.
Oh, it is Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah,
nice job.
Nick buying me canes.
All right, I got you.
Anyway, no, but that character is in the comics, like Nick said, and the Deviants. He actually has a relationship with Thena.
Yeah,
which we got alluded to because there's a weird thing where he like binds her.
Yeah,
it looks odd. But then she kills him. But I thought that could have been more interesting because what Druig said earlier on in the film, once he becomes sentient, Cersei says the deviants are more dangerous now since they're sentient. Then Druig says no, that doesn't make them like more evil, that just makes them us, which is true.
Yeah.
And that's I think that could have been a more interesting conflict, because that's another point of view where it's like, I mean, he's not really doing nothing wrong. He's just trying to survive as well.
I think that's one of the best things, like in a movie, when you put two people against each other that aren't really that, like both of them are kind of right.
I think every side, if you look at it, you can't say no, they're wrong. Yeah. Like you could disagree with it, be like, well, I would do this. That's just because
it's like Black Panther. Like Killmonger was kind of wrong for that. That was a bad example.
He's like, let's just kill everyone.
Let's enslave them.
Yeah.
No.
Like it's like this. It's like if you are an army general and you're fully devoted to your country, to you might have to, trade some lives to help your country do good.
Yeah.
And some people might think, oh no, like world peace, like everybody, they might be like, I'm against killing at all.
Yeah.
But for the general, he might be doing wrong to you, but arguably for him, it's like you can see why what he's doing isn't bad, But for someone else like Cersei, she's like, no, like we're not going to let innocent people die. She's right as well. Like both sides are right is what I'm trying to say. And I think that's what makes it compelling.
It's a good word.
Think, Nick.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think that I guess besides some of the plot holes that we've kind of pointed out, I do feel like this is a very character-driven movie. It
is. And I think that's to the benefit or the detriment of it. I understand why some people don't like it, because it is extremely character heavy and it's a long movie. There's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of exposition. To follow. It is.
It feels like the first Marvel movie with a lot of history and talking.
For sure, yeah.
Like, how many action scenes do you think there were besides the last fight?
That's another thing I don't like. I thought the action scenes weren't too memorable, because I even made a section here on action scenes I remember.
Okay,
and the only one I have is Kingu shoots head off, and then his valet
I only remember that because it was funny.
I got that set.
Yes, I did.
And then I wrote Icarus getting shit on. There's one long take where there's a deviant on his back and he's like trying to get off and shoot his laser eyes over and over.
Oh yeah, and he's just like,
it's one long take which I liked because he keeps getting like pushed down and like scratched. It's pretty violent and he's like yelling. It's good acting because I bet you he looks dumb as hell without the VFX. He's just he's laying on like a green screen mat and he's just like like it looks good though. Those are the two. Everything else, the action scenes are just like there's nothing amazing. Like with Shang-Chi, I think the action scene on the bus looks amazing.
Yeah, and that was like one of the first ones.
It's the first one in that, and I think that's the best one in the whole movie.
Yeah. Interesting.
I do. I think it's great. The choreography is great.
Yeah.
And it's very memorable. I remember like a lot of the things that happened in it. But with this, those are the only two things I remember. I mean, I know that they all fight at the end. I did like how they all kind of gang up on Icarus. Like, I like how Makari uses her speedster ability and she's like shitting on him for a while.
Yeah. He's like,
and then I like how Phastos uses his things to hold him down.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, I like those parts, but like they're not like too crazy, too amazingly memorable. They're just like
cool.
Yeah, they're right. Couple things I want to touch on. Sprite's powers suck.
It's kind of just like Loki, but
Loki's he can interact with stuff still. Her shit goes through.
Yeah.
Like if you try to touch her, it immediately her illusion goes away.
Yeah, because when I think in London, when it's like Sprite and Cersei, like one of the first deviants attacks them, like she just makes a bunch of copies of them, and then like they're kind of just like walking away. They're like, oh fuck. Yeah. They're like, be cool.
I mean, it works in some senses, but like you'll immediately know like, oh, okay, it's fake if you try to touch it. I also thought it was a bit odd to include that Sprite is in love with Icarus. Like, I understand it kind of makes sense then why she would choose to go with Icarus for the end of the world, you know?
Yeah.
Why she would just go with him since she loves him, but it's just odd because if you think from our standpoint, obviously, since it's a 14-year-old actress, like obviously it's weird. There's like an adult man, like you can't have that happen.
No.
You know what I mean? But now I might sound weird here, but
go on, say it.
Keep in mind.
Okay.
They are celestials. So they're gods, pretty much. Or not, they're not celestials, they're eternals, they're gods. So for them, even though she looks like a child, why would he be like, oh no, you don't look above 18? You know what I mean? Like they would still, because like they don't have, and like even in
they're
the
synthetic
world
too.
In the world of history, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I mean, I'm saying it's wrong. This is weird when you look back on history. But back in the day, people used to be like 14 and getting married to like a 20-year-old.
Game of Thrones, like
like it used to be a thing for hundreds, thousands of years of history. So why would it just doesn't make sense from my eyes why Icarus would be like, oh no, like because Kingo even says like, oh, you guys can't be together because, and it's implied because she looks like a kid, which is true from recent.
But
history.
that is also just the form the Celestials gave her. I mean, obviously, like her soul and her mind and all that shit are very like.
Oh yeah, exactly.
aged.
It's just an appearance.
Yeah.
So but it is weird, obviously.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have filmed the kissing scene. That'd be fucking weird.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, it doesn't make sense as a plot point, in my opinion, to throw it in when they could just say, oh, she just her beliefs aligned with Icarus's. Like it didn't have to be she loves him, because to me, in my opinion, it didn't add too much.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I sort of believed it, but I was like, yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, in my opinion, even if it's true, if she did love him, then why can't they be together? Because like obviously in real life standards, I know why.
Yeah.
But from
Icarus would get canceled.
Yeah. Putting myself in their shoes, if I was a Celestial, you would have no concept of age of consent or anything like that.
Yeah. You wouldn't.
Exactly. They have no concept of that, especially starting back then and seeing history advance. Because age of consent, those weren't even made till probably the last 100 years maybe.
Yeah.
Because even in the Western days,
there have been history eras where people would pillage and rape people.
Exactly.
Consent was not like.
So what I'm saying is if this was more realistic,
yeah,
Sprite and Icarus could be together despite that. But I understand. I don't know. I just think it's kind of not a plot hole, but just an odd choice.
Odd plot point.
It's an odd plot point. Yeah, and I don't think it's needed. But besides that, you want to hear another plot hole?
Yeah, let's do one more. Is this the last one? I wanted to touch on all of them spaced out, but we're kind of wrapping up the interview. Or the review, my bad.
This movie's fucking long. That's why.
It is, yeah. It is a lot of lore and history.
There is a lot to talk about. So a plot hole. Okay, so the reason why they can stop this Celestial, we haven't even touched on this. The Celestial that is getting born, the way they stop it is their idea is Druig, who mind controls them, can put it to sleep. But he doesn't have that much power, so they go to Phastos, which is the guy that can create technology.
Yeah.
And they ask, could you come up with ways so we can... And he comes up with the Unimind, which is they all can connect their powers together, give all their powers to one of them.
I thought it was funny when they were trying to name it. And Kingo's we should call it Brainstorm. It's that's a cooler name.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I did like that. Oh man. There's just so much of this movie.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad for but we're reviewing it. So pretty much the last thing is what is it called? The Unimind connects them all and makes their powers incredibly strong, to which they can kind of, what's the word? Make Druig's powers incredibly strong.
So he can put it to sleep. Their original plan is they don't want to kill the Celestial.
Yeah.
They want to put it to sleep, and then I guess they were gonna just go from there. But Icarus ends up shitting on Druig real quick and throwing him into the earth, but he comes back later.
Yeah, I thought he fucking died when he did that.
But
he's like, I should have done this a long time ago.
It's funny when he comes back later.
Yeah.
Because he just knocks out Sprite with a rock. He just hits her in the back of the head.
Oh, yeah.
He just knocks her out.
I thought that was funny because
I was expecting
it. That's such a cheap shot for being gods and Eternals and shit. And
he could have just mind control. That's another thing. Can they mind control each other? Could he mind control a Celestial or a Eternal?
I think so.
Well, he never does. I thought maybe he was gonna try and control Icarus to stop him from doing, but that never happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, the plot hole
that
I was referring to
enough.
is that Phastos takes the golden spear, the ball that was inside of Cersei, to make this thing because it connects her to
Arsha.
It connects him to Arsha. Yeah, and he's like, maybe it can connect all of us.
Yeah.
So he creates bracelets that they can all get connected to. But he creates it after Icarus comes in and says hey, I can't let you guys do this. He's like, I've let it go on for too long. And then him and Sprite leave.
He destroys his thing too.
Yeah, he destroys his thing, so he has to remake it.
This is annoying. I mean, probably ain't shit, but
it's just petty.
Yeah.
And then he almost kills Makari, right?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna kill her because she knew where it was. That gets brushed over pretty quick. But anyway,
He just knew.
But the plot hole is him and Sprite leave to go protect the emergence, and they're waiting for the Eternals to show up to try and stop them. What? So Phastos then makes the bracelets for the Unimind, which connects them all. Then they go there, and when the Unimind ends up happening at the end, when Cersei ends up being the one to use her power to turn the Celestial into marble.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I liked it too. I thought it was cool.
I like how it's gonna just be like a fucking monument now, like on that part of the
What
earth.
are they gonna do?
I mean, I feel like in this universe,
hand and a head coming out of the
I feel like in this universe, people obviously this is after the blip and shit. People are just so used to the crazy shit happening on Earth 616.
That's true.
Like,
I do like how Dane in the beginning is like, "Are you a wizard?"
yeah,
Like,
that
it's
was
just
funny.
He's like Doctor Strange. Like it's just common now. Like it's just like, oh, like I think you're a
They
wizard.
kind of are.
Like people aren't as freaked out as they would have been because they've dealt with so much shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, the
That's
plot hole
funny.
comes here. My main point was they put the bracelets on, and there's literally a suit up scene where all of them put on their suit.
I like the suit up scenes, and I also like the weapons that they had.
I do too.
They seemed very like
They look like
cosmic, but it was also like ancient.
yeah, like
like
it's a mix of both, and it's something we've never seen before.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's unlike anything we've
I
seen
thought it was
before.
really cool.
But this is the plot hole, I think, Nick. Tell me if you think this is a plot hole or not.
Okay.
At the end of the movie, despite Icarus and Sprite trying to delay Cersei from stopping it, Cersei is starting to do it, and then Icarus is about to kill her, but he can't because he loves her. And then Icarus and Sprite and all of them join in the Unimind, and then she does it. How did Icarus and Sprite join in if they weren't there when Phastos made the bracelets? Because they suited up prior. They left, and then Phastos had the idea, and then he made the bracelets, and then we had the bracelet scene where they suit up. So how did they join in if they're not wearing the Unimind bracelet?
I don't know. Maybe like in his
It's like, I don't know.
Maybe in his second design, like he made it, you didn't need those. Maybe like just for dramatic effect, like it just called all the Eternals in to like, I guess, contribute their energy to make the Unimind work. I don't know. Yeah, that is really weird. Yeah, because he got his ass beat, Icarus, and then like he just joined into the thing.
Him and Sprite joined in as well. They all joined in.
Was that before or after he tried to stop Cersei? Because like I remember he comes down and like he's about to fuck her up, but like
then he starts crying.
Yeah, like he tries to use his eyes, but like they glow and like he's like kind of hesitating and shit.
Yeah,
like he couldn't do it.
That's because of
He's a simp.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding. He loves her.
But
yeah,
I don't know. I thought that was a slight plot hole. The only other one that I wrote down.
There's more. How many do you have? 6?
Only 4.
Oh, 4. Okay, 4 minutes.
So I already did 3. This is the last one. When they meet this new deviant, it's healing itself because it sucks up Ajax's powers because she can heal herself.
Soul sucked like in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, exactly. So he sucks out the powers, and it makes him change his ways. So he only sucks out Ajax and Gilgamesh, and so he can heal himself, and he can, I guess, punch really hard after that.
Yeah.
So those are the only 2 things he gets. At one point, they literally have dialogue where they say, like, we've never seen a deviant do something like this before. Like how are they doing this? Why? Like, what's the thing? And I thought, like, that's a good question. Like, what's the answer? They never, it's never explained why there's just one random deviant that can suck stuff out. He just shows up from a cave and sucks up Ajax, like, out of nowhere. And even Icarus seems to be like, what the fuck is that? Like, because he kills her by pushing her off. He takes her to, like, these deviants that were in the ice.
Yeah, because another thing we should have explained, the polar ice caps are melting because of global warming on our emergence. Earth, and deviants that were frozen before in time are now back.
Yeah, that's why there's more.
That's pretty much why they mysteriously returned.
Yeah, I thought originally that it was going to be revealed that the Celestials sent more on purpose to, like, try and slow it down, but that's not the case. They just were in the ice. But yeah, Icarus kills Ajax by pushing her off a cliff. And then the deviants are going to kill her, but that's when this random one that's already evolved just shoots out some stuff And I don't know, it's just never explained. You know what I mean? Like they even question it
Yeah,
themselves.
that is kind of something that trails off in the movie.
They just never get back to it, and then eventually he dies. He gets cut up by Thena. And
yeah,
then I guess
you got sliced in half, right?
Yeah, they cut. Oh, she sliced.
Dude,
it
she
apart.
sliced like I was like, oh,
It
like
wasn't
in the
just
movie.
in half. Like she got the head in 3 pieces. Like the arms are off, the body's off. Like she cut him up.
I was kind of disappointed that that guy didn't survive, and maybe would have been in a later. Like you got to save him. You got to do the Black Manta thing and save him for later at the next movie, bro.
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like we didn't even get that much time with him because everyone else was just fighting.
I low-key forgot about him too, because once Icarus became the main guy, he just randomly walks out of the ocean. Like he just walks up at one point. Like they're fighting Icarus.
It's like, yo.
And then it just cuts, and then he just like looks and he's like, hey. And then he just starts helping them beat his ass. Like he jumps in and gets a punch.
They're just like, why are you helping him?
Yeah. That's I don't know. I think maybe they should have. Like maybe he should have just not shown up, or maybe he like sees what's going on, then he like thinks like, oh, like I'll let them like fight themselves. I don't know. It's just I don't get it. I feel like it was never explained. I wish he would have survived, like you said. I don't. That might be more of an opinion though.
Yeah, that's true. Dude looked weird. Yeah, he looked like one of the Fortnite like skins. I don't know.
Nick, pick your opinion. You think the way it was done with the flashbacks was better, or the linear would have been better? Because if it was linear, then we would have started back in the day, and then we would have gone to Babylon, where we learn that they get married, and then we would have gone to where they break up, and then we would have gone to where Icarus finds out from Ajak what's going on, and then he kills Ajak, and then he goes and saves Cersei in London, and then we go from there. So we would know the twist, and we know everything from the beginning. The only thing that would be actually, nothing would be revealed to us. We would know everything from the beginning then.
I think it still works fine as not linear, but I feel like with some of the flashbacks and stuff, we could have done without some of that stuff and maybe had more moments of like the Eternals together. Because in the trailer, it shows them all together, like they're getting up, ready to fight the world. They say the emergence is happening in the trailer, but you don't know what that is. But I would have liked to see them together more. And it would have been cool to see them all team up against like a common enemy rather than each other. But I guess it kind of worked in his favor because having a group fight against each other is like interesting conflict.
I will say I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect Icarus to betray.
No, yeah. I thought it was like my girlfriend was saying like she's in trust Salma Hayek, and I was like, really? I was like, she seems nice.
I don't trust Ajak.
Yeah.
She ends up being like the only pure one.
Yeah. Do you think that this given the huge cast, do you think this would have worked better as like a Disney Plus show, or as a movie fine and like going on with trilogies and stuff?
You know, I think what would have made this would have benefited this more. I don't think they need this many Eternals. Like there's 10 of them. Well, there's 8 by the end because 2 die.
Yeah.
I think there's almost too many to characterize and, you know, do all that stuff you got to do to make people care about a character. For example, in the comics, all of the Eternals have all the same powers. Like they all can fly, they all can pretty much do anything because they're Eternals.
Yeah.
You know, but that's less interesting giving them all everything. So I understand why they were like, let's make them all like different. It's more interesting, gives them something unique.
Yeah.
But I think given that still, they could have made it like they could have combined characters. Like for example, maybe keep the speedster, but Gilgamesh just punches.
I feel like Gilgamesh and Kingo could have been the same person.
Yeah, you could combine them easily, and they could be the same character. Like they can do both things, because like I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like I don't have ideas in my head right now, but if I sat down and like thought like, okay, which characters can be combined with the same power, so we can cut down on the amount of different characters.
I mean, I think they also had like such a wide cast, just because, like you said, it's super diverse. With, you know, a deaf actress. We have a child, African American, Asian, Indian, white.
We got it all.
Yeah,
we got a black.
I got a black,
and he's gay.
Yeah, it's a double card. No, I thought it was cool.
I know that's why they did it, but I think it would have been better for the story and easier. Cut down runtime, cut down stuff like that. Like how you were saying, would it work better as a Disney Plus show? Maybe at least to like get them characterization. But overall I like it. I do think it's a bit long. I understand that's why it's probably not everyone's favorite. Yeah, I think besides that, there's just post credits.
Finally. Welcome to the post-credit scene, everybody. You made it to the end.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this shit.
There's 2.
We get 2 post-credit scenes.
And the first one has...
The first one, I'm honestly... What the fuck is it? I forgot. I only remember the second one. What was the first one?
It's Harry Styles.
Oh, that's right.
The first one's Harry Styles.
Dude. So, the Eternals are just chilling in their ship, right? Because...
Yeah, so
Makari,
Thena, and
Druig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like the group.
Yeah, so to set it up, before the movie ends kind of on a cliffhanger. Prior to it, they've kind of saved the world. Dane and Cersei are talking. Sprite is now a human. Sprite is now a human, I guess.
She's going to school. That's
she's
funny.
about to go to school. And then Dane is talking to... he's about to tell her about his family history, so the Black Knight stuff. And that's when frickin'... What's his name?
The Arsham. Dude.
Arsham shows up, big ass head. Look at that! Actually, I love the scale in this movie.
Yeah,
the scale is amazing with like how
it looks scary.
He's freaking giant, and he shows up and he pulls up the Eternals. And I double checked when I saw it my second time who got pulled up. He pulls up Cersei, Kingu, and Phastos. So he doesn't pull up Sprite. So I guess she's not an Eternal. That was one question I had. I was like, is she still got her powers, and is she just a human now that she can age? But she still has her powers, but I guess she's not.
But is it irreversible?
Who knows? And
then Icarus is either resting in the sun or he's dead.
He flew into the sun.
Yeah, Icarus felt so ashamed of what he'd done that he just...
I don't think... Do you think he's dead?
I don't think he's dead.
I don't think he's dead either.
I think he's way too powerful. They were made from the people that create suns. Do you think they were going to make him sun-proof?
He's just chilling.
Yeah,
he's just crying in the sun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
he shows up and he says something along the lines of, "You have chosen the lives of humans over the birth of a celestial. I will spare them, but I will look into your memories to see if they are worthy of sparing or whatever, and then I will return with judgment," which is actually what he does in the comics.
Wow.
Arishem is
wow.
He's literally only judges if people are worthy. So he judges Earth, and he's like, "Yeah, y'all good." That's what he does. So I guess now that's what he's gonna do. And then he just takes them. He leaves.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie ends. And the first post credit is this with Harry Styles, as we were saying.
So pretty much, who's his little sidekick?
Pip the Troll.
Yeah, Pip
Played
the Troll.
By, I wrote this down. It's Patton Oswalt.
He's
like
in a lot of good stuff.
Marvel comic nerd, so
That's
I'm glad
funny.
to see him get like a MCU role finally.
Especially such a weird character. If I were in any Marvel movie, I wouldn't want to sign contracts or anything, but I would want to be like a funny little character like that.
Pip the Troll actually plays like a big part in like Infinity Gauntlet in the comics, like surprisingly.
Isn't he like some dude that I think he acquired some gene that made him look like that, or what happened?
So he was like something like 100th in line to be king or something, and then he partied all night with some trolls, and then he got turned into a troll because of that.
Damn, that's karma.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get, is it Astros?
It's Essos or Eros.
Eros,
Star Fox.
Yeah, when Pip is announcing all his titles and shit, apparently he's the brother of Thanos.
Mm-hmm. Fellow Eternal.
You couldn't believe that at first because Thanos looks like a fucking toe, but he has a deviant gene. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So he's a celestial too. Does that make Thanos a celestial?
You mean an eternal?
An eternal?
I think so. Yeah. They're okay. In the comics, I believe they are Eternals.
And did they grow up on Titan?
Titan, yes.
Okay.
Titan is
still their home.
I think I don't know for sure. The cosmic stuff I don't know too much about, if I'm being honest. But from what I know, I either right or wrong. I think Thanos is technically eternal, as is Eros. He just has the deviant gene. And actually what's kind of funny of Eros, he's actually his main power, along with like flight and like other teleporting, I guess.
Yeah.
Is he has the power to convince people to sleep with him.
That's weird.
Did you know that?
No.
There's actually a comic story where the She-Hulk, who's a lawyer, defends him from getting canceled.
Dude, what?
I'm serious.
When was that written?
In the last 10 years or so, maybe 20. Well, because his powers are that he can literally control like the part of your brain that stimulates you and gets you turned on. So he can just like look at a girl and then they're ready to like sleep with him. So he pretty much, his power is date rape.
That's weird. Yeah,
it is.
That
odd.
is true.
It is odd, and that's why I guess they cast Harry. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I don't know if they're gonna straight up say like,
I'm gonna date rape you.
Yeah, like I don't know if they're gonna straight up say he can do that. It's a very odd power, and that's why they made the whole cancel thing, and he got canceled for a bit. But what's funny is then they backtrack because they're like, we gotta fix this. Like we gotta fix our past mistakes.
Yeah.
They wrote a story where the reason why he was, I guess, using his power for bad ways is when they were back on Titan, Thanos messed with his mind of some weird contraption that made him, I don't know why he would want him to do that, but I don't know. It's something weird just so they can fix their weird stuff, but that's what he can do.
Interesting.
There you go. And he pulls out another ball and he has, and he says, I know where to find your friends. And then Foreigner's song Feels Like the First Time plays. It feels like the first time. Yeah. And then the second post-credit scene, which I personally am more excited for. Wait, hold on. What do you think of the casting for Harry Styles? Let's talk about that. Because when he came up, the first thing I thought, I was like, is that Harry Styles or is it just some white guy that looks like him? Because a lot of white actors look the same. They just be looking white. Like, look at Timothy.
And white.
Timothy Chalamet is a white guy of
Timothy
black hair.
Chalamet.
Tom Holland's a white guy with brown hair. We're getting tons of white guys.
They could have casted someone better, but I was looking at like, is it Eros or Essos? Eros in the comics.
Star Fox.
He kind of Star Fox.
He looks ugly in the comics.
Yeah, he has like red hair. I don't know. I don't mind it. Like at this point, whoever the MCU casts, like I'm kind of cool with it, unless it's something like some of that Amber Heard shit.
Yeah, I trust the casting. The MCU hasn't really had any.
It's interesting to see like an artist though, like because he just makes music.
Ariana Grande about to pull up. She's gonna be.
I
an
wouldn't
Eternal
mind.
Too.
I wouldn't mind. I like.
And
her.
Cardi B's gonna be an Eternal.
Okay, no.
Meg Thee Stallion's an
That's,
Eternal.
Bro, what's she gonna do? What's her power? Shaking ass. Fucking blows someone up.
Someone explodes and she does that.
Eternals 2. I'm a savage. Okay, can we talk about the second one? Because I really want to
The second one's cooler, I think. To me, I don't care about Star Fox.
Yeah.
And if I'm being
fucking loser, I saw that whole movie. I was waiting for Kit Harington to do something.
Yeah, dude, I wanted to see him get the fucking blade. I was so hyped. Speaking of blade, though, that's the big thing in this. He's about to he opens his thing in some old what is that writing? It's
Moro I Martum. It says like death is my reward.
It means death is my reward, but and then he's about to touch it and it looks like the blade's like
it like reacts to him.
Yeah. And before he can grab the blade, his sword, which is called the Ebony Blade.
Yeah.
And they actually reference it earlier in the movie.
Athena, she's like,
Athena's is that messing with the sword and the ship, all the stuff Makari has gathered throughout the years. And she says like, oh, is this the Ebony Blade? And Sprite says it's Excalibur, which is King Arthur's sword. Yeah. And then
that's interesting that they just pretty much confirmed like all that is like canon and like the history.
Yeah, and then she says like, oh, he always had a crush on you, like King Arthur. Oh.
That's weird.
Anyway, but speaking of King Arthur, let me tell you the history of this, Nick.
Yeah.
The Ebony Blade was yielded by, I forgot the guy's name, but he was part of King Arthur's men. His like
the Knights of the Round Table.
The Round Table. Okay. Knights of the Round Table. And he was the one, I forget his name, but he's supposed to be the most pure of heart of them, the most honorable one. And the sword in the comics was created by Merlin, the wizard. And at first I thought maybe that might be the guy that talked to him.
Are you sure about it? No.
But it's not him.
No. Do you know who it is?
Yeah, it's Blade.
I do too, yeah.
Dude, that was the first thing I said to Jaden.
I heard a couple days ago that like the director Chloe Zhao confirmed it.
Yeah,
so,
she did confirm it.
At first I was like, okay, is it The Watcher? Is it
The Watcher, maybe Samuel Jackson?
Yeah. That's who I thought originally, but I'm so glad it's Blade.
Well, dude, the first thing he said is I recognize the voice because Bashar Ali has a voice. Yeah, you can kind of tell it. Yeah. I've seen him in a couple things. I've seen him in he played a villain in Luke Cage season 1.
Cottonmouth.
Yeah, Cottonmouth.
Yeah, he was. That's right. He was Cottonmouth.
Huh?
He was Cottonmouth.
Yeah, he was. He played He was in Moonlight. And he's in a lot of things. And I remember I told Jay and I was like, bro, is it Blade? And then he was like he had like the biggest like face, like, because Jaden's a Blade simp. This dude loves
a simp for Blade.
Who was the original Blade? What was the actor's name?
Let me look it up.
All right, well,
let's fact check.
I'm gonna be real. I haven't seen any of the original Blade movies.
No, same. Don't worry.
Huh?
Don't worry. I haven't seen it either.
Okay, cool. But it don't matter because we're gonna
Wesley
see
Snipes. That's who it is. Wesley
yeah,
Snipes.
Yeah, that's it.
Damn, he old.
But we knew that a Blade movie was coming. If you would have told me prior to seeing Eternals that we were gonna get the first sound or like first, not really on screen look, but like he's in the movie of Blade, I would not have believed you. I'd be like, why the hell would Blade be in this?
Yeah.
But it's really cool because in the comics, I believe Black Knight, him and Blade were actually on a team that fought vampires at one point. I forgot what it was called. It was something
Vampire
like
Hunters.
M13 or something. I forgot. It's cool though. And Black Knight's history is more so like the Ebony Blade is it's kind of like the opposite of Thor's hammer.
Yeah, what I read is like it's cursed and it actually feeds
cursed
on like the one without the pure heart.
It's said that only the pure of heart can yield it, but it's the opposite.
Yeah,
it's like the people that are not pure of heart, and it'll
make
you basically bring out the worst part of you.
It seems like an anti-hero kind of like setup.
Yeah, and Dane seems like a good guy, but it's also referenced earlier when Cersei says to make up with his uncle. Remember she's on FaceTime with him, and she's like, hey, talk to your uncle, trust me, like now's the time to like do it, because she knows the earth might end, world might end. And in the comics, his uncle was also the Black Knight for a while.
Yeah, he was a villain, wasn't he?
He was more of a villain. Yeah, he used it as
I mean, I feel like that sword would make you a villain
eventually. I'm interested to see where that goes though, and I'm now more excited for it
I want to see I want to see how Marvel like does the costume for it.
I want to, because
I want it to be
really
straight
weird.
up like
it's like a
goofy.
bright blue and yellow costume. It's not.
Oh,
like
it is. I think I saw the original one, not the newest one. Like
in the most recent run that I saw, he's just in like jeans and a leather
Black
jacket.
Knight.
He's just like in jeans and leather jacket. But in the original one, he's got like a weird, like a whole knight outfit.
Oh shit.
But I don't think they're doing this because people would be so confused, since everybody that knows Blade only knows the Wesley Snipes version.
Yeah.
The Wesley Snipes version of Blade, before that came out,
he dresses like this. Oh, okay, that's kind of cooler.
That's the more recent.
That kind of looks more like
that.
That looks like a fucking lightsaber. That's not even.
He changes his blade a couple times.
Interesting. I like this one. Look, where it's like black and gold.
That one's cool. Look at the original one, bro. The original one's weird. Like it's way too campy. They won't do the original. There's no way. I want to see them kill some vampires though. Like I want to see Dracula in the MCU.
Dude, I would love to see him be part of history. Oh, this one?
Nah, that's not the original. Come on, Nick.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that kind of looks like how the original was. It's a more updated
that
drawing.
Looks hella comic booky.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Dang.
I bet you they do either the one where he's holding the lightsaber, where he probably maybe just has a helmet on, or maybe they won't even.
Or maybe he makes his own like costume.
Maybe they won't even put a helmet on him because it's Kit Harington. They got to show his face.
Yeah, or maybe one that where like it's an opening.
Yeah, I don't know. They gotta figure it out there.
We'll see.
It's hard. It's gonna be hard to make him look cool.
I'm excited for. Honestly, I'd say I'm excited for Eternals 2.
Well, there's definitely. Are we gonna get an Eternals 2? You think it's gonna be called Eternals 2, or do you think they'll show up in like?
Oh, I mean, I know they said they will return. They might. I could see this honestly setting up a future Avengers movie with like the remaining Eternals, the new Avengers, Blade, Spider-Man. Damn, Loki, the new Avengers kind of stacked. Bro.
This is one thing I want to ask you before we wrap it up. What are they building to? Like, because
Secret Wars.
So phase 1 through 3 was like the first trilogy of, I guess, Marvel's overarching story with Thanos, and it ended. So if this is phase 4, you could argue this is like the phase 1 of the new like build up.
Yeah.
So is it gonna be Kang? Is it gonna be Galactus? We don't like. What is it gonna be? because it seems like they're doing a lot of different stuff. Like Hawkeye is.
It seems very,
and it's gonna just be like a New York.
It seems like
grounded
it's
thing.
heading in a very cosmic celestial being direction with Kang.
It does.
And I don't know how they're gonna do that.
I think they might just look. I think this is what they might be doing. I think they might just be making stuff that they want to
set
make,
up. They're just setting up
and
stuff.
then they're gonna see what people are most excited for. Like, what do the people be like? Oh my god! Like that's like yes.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, all right, let's do that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no way. Like they'll never admit this, but there's no way they have it all completely planned out.
No,
they might have like
the
a couple
timeline,
branching out ideas. Like we could do this potentially.
They won't ever have it as locked down as the.
They're not going to admit that that's
the
what
Infinity
they're going to
Saga.
act like they got it all planned out from the beginning. It's like the same way they're saying that kid in Iron Man 2 was Spider-Man. Boy,
Dude, he was.
Now he is. He was not originally. That's what they're doing. You know.
Yeah.
And
all right.
I think they're just picking what is most popular.
I agree with you there. Yeah, it's a good place to end.
Blade is actually British.
What?
In the comics, he's British. He's British, mate.
So he's like killing the vampires. After killing vampires, can I get a bottle of water?
Yeah, he's British. He looks completely different than what you would expect. If you look up his original costume, he looks like a freaking pirate, like with a sword. He looks stupid. He's wearing like pirate pants and boots. That's why I don't think they're making him British. Because the only Blade that the general audience knows is Wesley Snipes.
Bro, what the fuck is this?
You see?
That looks like some cereal box,
That's
dude.
Blade, bro. That's
I like how he just has stakes across an ammo belt.
That's how he used to look.
So cheesy.
Yeah, so he used to look like
this one's
that.
Badass.
That's when they
cool.
changed it. Wesley Snipes, that whole thing that they did with the leather outfits and stuff.
He brought like a new flavor.
They did that. That was all like they came up with that, and then it was popular. So then it actually made Marvel change his look. It got inspired from the movie, and I think it's better for the character. It's more interesting. I like it way better than the original. So, but they're not going to make him British, especially since they got Mashallah Ali. He's not going to do a British accent.
Yeah.
I think what they are doing to do homage to it, though, is obviously Wayne Whitman's in London. You know, they're in London for that part. And so Blade just shows up at his house. I'm guessing Blade he's been living in London for a while.
Because there's vamps.
He's in the Europe area. Yeah, there's vamps there. You know, Dracula's in Transylvania.
Yeah.
I want to see Dracula because the Ebony Blade.
That'd be such an interesting character.
There's a couple things. So it's usually made by Merlin, but then sometimes there's a fake that was actually made by Dracula. And so they could do a couple things. They can. I don't know if they're gonna go full on Merlin wizard made it because that's they could. They wouldn't really out there with Celestials, so they could do that. Or if they're making it, it seems like Black Knight's gonna be in the Blade movie. Like he's gonna be in there with him. It seems like, that's probably the next place Kit Harington shows up is Blade. I would guess.
Yeah.
So if they're doing that, it wouldn't make sense for a freaking wizard to show up if they're gonna, you know what I mean? About that. So I think what they might do is they might combine those stories and switch it up a little bit for the movie.
That'd be cool.
And they might make it to where Dracula actually is the one that made the Ebony Blade.
That'd be a cool
Merlin.
twist.
They might just cut Merlin out of there. Maybe Dracula is Merlin. I don't know. They might combine. They like to combine stuff.
Takes his mask off.
He's like, oh, he's got a beard.
Whenever I think of Merlin the Wizard, I think of the one from Shrek. That's like so stupid. Yeah. It's like the worst fucking Merlin. I don't know. Damn, dude. Blade movie. When does that come out? Next year?
There's not a release date out next year. It probably won't be till earliest late 2023 or early 2024. Because I don't think they gave us a release date. Yeah. For all these movies that are currently coming out, when they announced the release dates for that, they gave all of them and then they just said, and we're also making Blade. Yeah. But it was like, we haven't even done pre-production on it. Yeah. Just know it'll come eventually.
We know what's happening.
All they said was, we're getting Mashallah Ali, and then he came out and he was like, what's up? Yeah, he put a hat on.
Nice.
I think that's everything.
Blade. Yeah, I think that's everything.
It's a long
Eternals. Yeah, this was a long review, but it's a long movie. It's a long movie.
Long as hell.
It's a lot of shit to cover.
There is a lot.
I'm giving this movie a solid, what do I feel? 7.5. I'm feeling 7.5.
Okay.
Light. I would watch it again. Honestly, I would see it again. If my girlfriend wants to go see it, I'll probably go see it again.
Yeah, I already saw it twice, so I think I'm good for now. Yeah. But I think 2 times is enough. 1 time is actually enough, for being honest.
For anyone.
Yeah, for anybody. It's a long movie. I understand why people don't like it. Like Jaden gave this a 5. I think he's just hating a bit too hard. He's kind of like the critics. He's trying to seem edgy. You know, he wants to stand out.
Dude got letterboxed, and now he think he a critic.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, it's definitely not the worst Marvel movie. If people that are saying that are just trying to, they're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Being completely honest, I'm saying it's a solid movie. It does something different. I think on a good day, I'm giving this an 8, but on a realistic day, I'm giving it a 7. You know, it could have been better in certain areas. I do agree. There's a couple plot holes, things that don't make sense. Like, here's an example. Why does Icarus leave Ajax's body there? Like, why does he bring it back? Like, wouldn't it make more sense for him to just like let them eat the body, or to like he's the only one that can fly. Why doesn't he just pick her up her body and fly into space and then just leave her in space? They would never find her body then.
Well, I think he wanted them.
But
obviously,
why would he want them to find it though? Because then they're gonna like.
He obviously was trying to set up like a thing. I don't know. I think because when they die, they turn all gray, so I guess they can't really kind of be
sucked.
Torn up like that. Like,
they got sucked.
Yeah, I guess they got sucked and their power leaves them. I don't know.
I just think there's a couple things like that I think could have been.
You got some
logic. The logic is kind of thrown out the window. You got to subvert a couple expectations. I mean, people are flying. He's in the sun.
You think you like this movie more because? Did you go in with low expectations? I kind of did a little bit because of the Rotten Tomatoes shit. I try not to let that get to me, but I was like,
I didn't go in with low expectations, but I would say this is the first Marvel movie in a while where I went in knowing very little, because the Eternals I knew not much.
Yeah, you learn a lot when you're in there.
Yeah, there's a after you see this, you're gonna be like, oh man, like I'm an Eternals wizard now. I know all.
I'm a wizard.
There's a lot to know. But yeah, I think overall, I think everyone does a pretty good job with the acting. I like a lot of the interactions. I like Kingu. I like the valet.
Yeah.
I think I'm giving it a solid 7 as well. You give it a 7.5. I'll give it a 7. I said it on a good day, I'll give it an 8, but in a realistic way, I'm giving it a 7. So There we go. It's better than Thor 2. It's better than Iron Man. The standard. It's better than Iron Man 2. It's better than. What else came out?
It's better than Ant-Man 2.
It's better than Ant-Man 2.
It's better than.
It's arguably better than Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, in my opinion, because those are both origin stories. They're more.
Oh yeah, let's go by origin stories.
They're more grounded.
It's better than Iron Man 1. Actually,
it's not for me. It's not better than Iron Man 1.
No,
Iron Man 1 right is below just too. That one has a sex scene too, which is why I don't. Why are people freaking out about this one? He bangs the reporter in his room, and he's like, "What?"
That was early Marvel.
They're going crazy too. Like they're going hard. The bed's bouncing, and then they fall off the bed.
I don't know. Hey, that's Tony Stark, bro. Let him be.
Oh yeah, I'm not judging him, bro. Clap all you.
Yeah, why people are getting crazy over that?
Why are
they
acting like this is the first time we've seen any superhero get freaky?
People just like to nitpick.
In the Ed Norton Hulk movie, he almost has sex with Betty, but then his heart rate starts going too fast, so he makes him stop.
He's like, dude got horny.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Eternals. I know it's a lot.
It's a long review, but
yeah.
Let us know what you guys think. We split it up in chapters so you can jump between the news and all the other shit. But
there's a lot.
Go check out Twitter, Cosmic Kickback, Instagram, Cosmic Kickback, TikTok, Cosmic Kickback.
Everything's Cosmic.
Yeah. Kickback. Follow us on YouTube. We're gonna have a lot of stuff coming out for the holidays. I'm super excited about. We got some friends coming home to the States.
Yep.
And
make sure to subscribe to YouTube. To the YouTube channel. We might be doing some streams as well. We're trying to. We should come up with a schedule for it. We should try and.
I want to do a Friday. I'm off this Friday.
Friday streams would be cool. It's like an end of the week thing. It's an easy thing to do. Just sit down and do.
I love when people just hop in and talk to us. It's cool.
Yeah. We're very. If you want to go in and do a quick little quiz, Nick will give you. Actually, I have a code. We can do a giveaway. Actually, what? I have a code for 3 months of YouTube Premium. But I can't use it because I had a 1 week free trial of it when it first came out because I wanted to watch Cobra Kai. And I didn't want to. Dude,
that show's good. You got to perform with the Netflix now. Yeah, it got renewed for season 4.
I still got to see season 3. I've only seen the first 2. Good. But anyway, I have a code. We could do a giveaway on a stream. We could do a giveaway at a certain subscriber hit.
That'd be cool.
But because I can't use it, so we could just do that. Give people something back.
Yeah.
Anyway, subscribe, follow us, leave a like, leave a comment down below what you thought of the movie. And yeah, Cosmic Kickback. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.